So this is our day 5, and today we will see about JavaScript code and function. JavaScript, which is related to our HTML part, and we will then see on the Java nested if and if else if structure. Okay, and we will see basics about array then. Okay, let's do it right now. So we still had that particular assignment. Some of you have sent me um, very good, in a very good way you have sent me, and I'm still waiting for people to send. So our email ID is this. Let me write it so you can send that thing. So testology.qa.learning, from where you got all the invite, the same email ID, you can send your assignment, the HTML file. So once you will send your HTML, CSS, or JavaScript file, this should work in my system if I'll run it as it is. Okay. Let's see what was pending from our side. We created the structure. We created the structure. Yes, in a very good way. And we want to learn how to, let's see if I write here testology. So actually, once I click on the submit, it should say me welcome testology, something like that. It should say me welcome testology somewhere after this submit button, somewhere after this submit button. So what we can do is, now we'll learn, because this is scripting part. This is scripting part. So for one thing we have learned is we can put the alert. So if you see here, we can put the text into the alert, correct? So now why not do something here? So in this kind of case, so in this kind of case, it's better to, please don't unmute yourself in between. So in this kind of case, what we can do is we can create a paragraph here, and we will not keep any code there. So what I'm saying is, let's put a blank paragraph. So here, when you have a submit button, this one, after that, after a line, let's say this one, let's put a paragraph. So I'm putting it P, and ID is equals to message. I'm just writing MSG, and it's a blank one, nothing inside that. So this P is, sorry, this P will be closed. Right? If I write here welcome, let's say, let me write it welcome dot dot dot. What will happen? Let's refresh it. See here, welcome is visible here. Dot dot dot. Welcome, it is visible. Perfect. Now, but we want to show the name which will be here. So we want to grab the value. Let's see if I'll write Nitesh here. We want to grab, catch this value on the click of submit. So we have to write a particular code to get it, basically. Okay. Then let's try to put it here then. So the code to set anything is, again, you have to go through the HTML chapters. You will get to know. Then there is a JavaScript chapters that you have to go. But basically, it's like this. If you want to set up any elements text, you can write it like this. So let's understand this example. This example is saying very simple one. HTML started, and okay, inside that body is there, body, and there is a header, fine, static one. This one, if you see, coming because of the left hand side code. Then there is a paragraph. Hello world. It's not printed here. The hello world is not printed here. Why? Because once this page will get load, what is happening is, yeah, it wanted to print this thing, but there is a script added. So in the script part, it is added like wherever the ID P1 is there. So this is the code. What it is saying, find out the element by ID. So find out one element by ID P1. So it will find out wherever P1 identification is present for a particular tag. Dot inner HTML means put the code inside, put this text as new text. So whatever you will write it, it will come here. So let me write it, let's say welcome. If I write dot dot dot, and sorry, here if I put semicolon, let me run it. See here, welcome is getting printed here. So hello world, instead of hello world, is printing welcome because we did a overwrite through script. Right? This is not changing, but this paragraph was changed by a script. But this particular thing where I have written, this is not changing because we are not changing it. Right? This paragraph is through ID we are identifying and then changing it. Okay. Fine. It's the same thing. Something similar we will do. Okay. Let's try now. What we want to achieve is, for this, you want to get something on click pop-up. So we have already written on click pop-up. Where is this on click, this pop-up function written? Let me check. It's written somewhere here. Here what we will do, we'll declare a variable. Variable username, you can put anything, is equals to, so the code to get an element is document.getElement. Simple one. So I'll write document.getElement by ID, but which one? Document.getElement by ID, which one? We want to get whatever user will put into the username here. But how to identify this? So let's put an ID here. ID is equals to uname. Okay. Now here we can write that identify the element by uname. It's like this. And I think there should be dot text or value should come. Dot text or dot value should come. I'm taking a reference of my another code. I'm just checking. Yeah, dot value will come because we want to catch the value of that particular element. So we stored it in a variable. So this is JavaScript code little bit where you can declare a variable like this, and you want what value we want to get is, we want the value from this, the username which we are putting it here. Let's say testology I'm writing, and I want to get this value on click of submit. So how we are doing it, we want to get this. So this text box should have some identification, then only it will capture from here. So that's why we have written the identification here is uname. If you see here, just now I provided it an ID uname. Okay, and value, and in the alert let's print welcome. If this will work, then we can do anything. Welcome, and plus sign will work here. Username. So welcome username. Let's see if this will work. Refresh it. Put it, let's say testology. Clicking on submit. See here, it is saying welcome testology. That means we are able to get this. The simple example was any element you can get, right, through using this code. Let's say document dot get element by id, right? You identified it, dot value, you will get it. So our task is done, but we wanted to set it here, not in the alert. Let's put it at both the, let's get the alert also and put it here also. So here another thing we can do is same thing. So let me copy this, and I'm writing document dot get element by id. What was that? MSG. We have written something. Yeah, MSG. We want to change this welcome text, correct? So let's write it MSG, and the code is dot inner HTML. So let me copy the syntax. Syntax is this dot inner HTML. So I'm copying this one particularly. Now only thing, this thing is required, this part. So going to the code back, yes, dot inner HTML is equals to welcome plus this user, which we got it and it's stored in a variable. It should work. Let's see. So let's refresh it again. Refresh. Put a name here. Let's say Nitesh Java. I'm writing. Submit. It's saying welcome Nitesh Java, and it's saying welcome Nitesh Java. Perfect. It's working. Another validation is if I keep it blank, then it should say something. Then it should say something, right? So that is still assignment to you that you have to cover. If it is blank, then it should say it cannot be blank, right? Something like that. Another thing is I'm extending this assignment as once I'll put a name here, let's say, and I will put address also. So address, whatever address you will put, you will select a particular gender, you will select a city. So on submit, it should not only just print welcome Nitesh, it should say welcome Nitesh, um, your address is this, your gender is this, your city is this. Something like this should come. So we want to capture all the element and we want to print in one shot just for the verification that you are this guy. Okay, moving to the next part here, current balance and withdrawal money part. Okay, so current balance, same thing. If you got to know how to capture the values, now it's very easy for you to get all these things. So what we can do? As of now, I'll help you just to get these two values. The rest of the things, it's a mathematics. You have to write some small code which will do withdrawal. Once you click on the withdraw, it will say that uh, what is your next balance, means current balance minus withdrawal will be the next balance value. So that is still open, but let's understand one thing: how to keep this JavaScript part out of the code. So still, what the logic is? Why to disturb the HTML, right? Why not keep all the scripting part out of the HTML, right? Why to disturb the whole HTML part? Let's keep it somewhere else. The logic is this. So same thing, the same way how you linked your CSS, there is a way to link JavaScript also. Can we try it? Let me Google it. How to link JavaScript file to HTML. Okay. Great. So this is the way you can write script src is equals to myscript.js. This way you can do it. Fine. Any other way? No. So let's see what they are saying. They are saying that you have written the script r src attribute, and this is somewhere else. This text is coming from some JavaScript code. This text is not coming from, see here, nothing is written here related to this code. This code is coming from this JS file. The same thing we can also include. Let me copy this, and we will put it, how we can put it, here. I can write it like this, and here we will say my JavaScript code.js. Let's say my JavaScript code.js, but you have to create it. So this particular script part, let's delete it from here. Let's keep it here also, and we'll create another one. So another one is like capturing the balance amount which we will put. So here is the current balance. So now whatever amount you want to capture, so basically you have to provide an ID here, right? So ID, I'm giving it, ID is equals to, this is cur balance, and how much you want to withdraw. Let's give an ID to that element is withdraw amount, something like that. Done. So the best way to can again put a message is create a paragraph element here. So I'm putting a BR here. Then at the next line, let's put a paragraph element. Paragraph ID is equals to balance detail. Balance underscore detail. ID can be anything. It's not like that small you have to write. This is my ID. And the text for this is, this will show balance related details, and this paragraph is end. Perfect. Now let's see what is happening. So going back to our this, I'm going down. See here, this message is coming. It's not maybe visible to all of you. This message, this will show balance related detail. Here the message will get changed. This message will get changed based on what is happening here. Okay. So for example, I want to capture as of now the current balance. So what you can write? You can write to get the current balance. So current balance ID is cur balance. So let's try this at least. So on click of this button, this withdraw money, we will call a function. Calling a function is on click is equals to, you can put any function. So function name is what you can say, set balance, something like this. And if you have written it somewhere, you have to make this function, set balance function you have to make, which will do the whole thing. So that is related to scripting part. So let's write set balance, and we'll then write it in another file. I'm writing it here, function set balance. What it will do, it will, as of now I'm just printing it, so don't, so the same thing, the same code will come. but this time it will be current current balance is equals to driver dot get element by id. What was that id? For current balance value was cur balance. I'm going up and putting it like document dot get element by id. This, sorry, just a minute, I copied it wrongly. So that was where it has gone. This one, current balance, control C, going up. Where is my script? This one. So dot value, I don't want to put any alert. And then here will be that message, the last part, this balance detail that I want to change. So this will be this dot, let's just print your balances. Your current balance is um, I changed at the wrong place. Just a minute. Doing a control Z. Sorry. This will come here. Okay, and here. Your current balance is cur balance. This one. Okay. So this code will do the thing, I guess. Let's see. Refreshing it, not doing anything on the upper part because I want to do something on the lower part here only. So if I write here 2000 and I click on the withdrawal money, see here it's saying your current balance is 2000. So you have to write the logic. If I put 2000, if I put it 500, and if I click on the withdrawal money, it should not say your current balance is 200. It should say your previous balance was 2000, your current balance is 1500 rupees. Okay, it should say me your previous balance was 2000, your new balance is 1500 rupees. And in any case, if I write it 2000 and here the 3000, if I click here, it should say me it's not possible, or you can say withdrawal cancelled, because the withdrawal money is greater than the balance value. It should say something like that. So this assignment is done. I'm not taking now. Now you guys have to put your logic, and it's not a big deal. If you are doing it seriously, the HTML, CSS, now it's like JavaScript part more of. You should be able to do it. But let me put it in another file. Our agenda is to put the script in another file. Okay, let's copy this part. I want to do both the things. So one script is inline and one script is embedded script here and one is in another file. So let's create a new file. Copying this, selecting the language as JavaScript, and I don't want to write this function. This function is already there. Only thing I want to do this thing only. Great. Script started, script end, save. By what name I want to save? I want to save it as this myscript.js. So JavaScript file has the extension as JS. So myscript where on the day 5 itself save. Let's check whether this is working because I deleted it. If you see here, we deleted that set. Oh, we didn't delete. Let's delete it. Set balance part. We don't want deleting this part. Set balance is deleted. I have put it in another file. And I'm saying that if you want the script, then go to this file and have it. It's like this. So one file can have multiple script. There is no issue in that. Okay, let's check whether that is working. Going to our practice, refresh. This part we have to check only. Other thing is fine. 4,000, and I have not clicked it yet. Let me click now. Oh, it's not working. So there is something wrong. There is something wrong we are doing. Okay. Hmm, great. So let's come back and see what wrong thing we are doing. So our my JavaScript code is here. Let's go back. src is equals to this. Is there any other way? Maybe. Is there any other way to do it? So you don't have to put the whole path because the practice.html and this my JavaScript part both are present at the same. Okay, let's save it at the same file, at the same folder. Actually, it's present, but somehow it is not working. No worries, there is something wrong we are doing. Let's Google it for 2 minutes. Otherwise, we will go ahead. How to link again JavaScript file to HTML. Let's see some other tutorial. If somebody is saying, is there any way? Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see. How do you? So this is a Stack Overflow where you can put your questions, and somebody if have similar kind of questions is already asked, we will get the answer. Okay, so script type is equals to this way we should do. Is it like that? Don't know. So we'll try this one. Script type is equals to this. Okay, we should write script type is equals to this, and then it will work. We'll try that thing. No worry. Let's try it right now. So copying this and let's include in our code in the practice.html. src is fine, but put type is equals to this also. Okay, what else? People are suggesting it, and it's we should know it beforehand, but I'm just searching it to show you that how you can resolve your issues if you stuck somewhere. I guess that will work now. Let's try. So I am going to, where is our practice.html gone? Here, refresh, putting 2000, withdraw money. It's not working. It's not working. I'm not wasting too much time here. I'll somehow correct it and I'll send you the code. If I'll get it properly, I'll correct that thing and I'll put in our day 5 folder. Okay, but this is the way, like we link the CSS file, right? So there is a way to link the JavaScript file also. So it should not be a big issue. Okay, coming back to our agenda. Okay, so we have seen how you write the JavaScript code and how you write the function, and we'll see. We are moving to the Java part now. So somebody is asking, we have to give the complete file path for the JS file. No, it's not required. If the folder structure is different, then you have to give the complete path. So here I'm writing my source is this, my script.java. Why I'm giving it? Because my HTML is also on the same in the same folder, and CSS or JavaScript, all the things are in the same folder. Then you don't have to give the full path. Okay, if it is in another folder or in the child folder, then you have to give slash or whatever the full path. As of now, it is not required. Okay, moving ahead. So we'll see if else if part, so, and nested if part. So what is nested if? Nested if is if inside an if. Let's make that program. So we have our August, this one, practice Java. Let's make a new program, new class, and nested if underscore demo. Okay. Nested if is simple. If inside an if. So if I write if x is greater than 100, okay, and if I make another decision here, if I write if x is less than 200, so what will be the conclusion? Conclusion is actually you are coming inside this if whenever x is greater than 100. So here, whatever is the number, so let me write it. System.out.println number is between 100 and 200. And what will the else part here? This else is the else of this if. This else part is the else part for this if, because this if is starting from 9th line, correct? It's ending at 18th line. The else for this if part is yet to come. That will come here. Let's understand this hierarchy. You have put an if, you're writing something. Now let's take the decision. If x is greater than 100, then only you are coming here. That means the value of x, whatever. We have not taken it. We will complete this program, but let's understand the if part only. If x is greater than 100, okay, fine. If it is true, then only it will come here. So if x is less than 200, then if this is true, that means a number is actually between 100 and 200. If x is greater than 100, but x is not less than 200, that means the value is greater than 200 also. Value is greater than 200. Okay. Now what will come here? So here, if we put else part here, simply x is greater than 100. If this is false, that means x is less than 100. Simple. So I'll write here number less than 100. Done. So this is how it will work. Today we'll understand a new thing. You can write integer x is equals to 300 and you can run it. You can write x is equals to 300 and you can run it. Let's understand two things today. One thing, we will learn about how to take values at runtime, right? We'll take this value of x at the runtime. Means this is hard coding. What we have done here is hard coding. Hard coding means the programmer himself or herself is deciding that what is the value of x. The programmer should not decide actually. We should take this value at the runtime from the user. Right? But as of now, let's say we have hard coded, and we will also learn about debugging. Okay, so let me put it in our agenda also. We want to learn debug also today. Let's do it quickly. Debugging is very simple. So when we run it, let's run this program first. So there is a run as Java application. We run this and you will see some result. So it is showing me
the result as value is greater than 200. Okay, it's showing me because it's here, right? It will come to this part and it's printing it. But if there is a big program, you may get, like, if it is complex, you want to check line by line what is happening inside. So what you can do, you can put debug point. How to put the debug point? Any line number, let's say this line number 8, if you double click at this blue bar, I double click it, so here a debug point will come. The blue very small circle will come. Debug point means pause the program when you execute it, when it will come to 8th line, and then we will execute it line by some instruction. So let's do it now. So this time we will not run it. We will do debug as Java application. This bug icon is there, debug as Java application. And once you run it, it will ask you that you want to switch to the debug perspective. Click on the switch and it will say you that you are at line number 8. So if you see here, it's saying me you are at line number 8. Here is some icon. So I'm clicking here, step over. So F6 is the shortcut. Step over means go to the next line. Next line. Okay, I am on next line. If I hover over X, it will say me your current value is 300, and now it will check 300 is greater than 100. True. So that's why it will come down. See here, it has come down. And 300 is less than 200. No. So probably it will not go to the 13, 14, 15 line. It will go to the 16th. Let's check. So this is my step over. I'm clicking here. See here, it has directly gone to 18th line. It is not going to the 14th line because based on the condition, X is already 300. So why it will go here? Because 300 is not less than 200. So it will go to the else part and it will print this. Done. Now the question is whether it will go to the is else part, whether it will go to the 23rd line. It won't go because when this condition will get fail, this condition is false, then only it will go to the else part. 300 is greater than 100. That was true. So this is already executed. It won't go to the else. It will directly come to the 27th line. See here, it has come to the 27th line and this program is done. So you can put as many debug point to jump to one debug point to another debug point. That is also possible. We'll see it again later on. Don't worry about debug point. In many questions, we will do it. Debug point things. Basic concept is you can put debug point and run as a debug. Run Java program on debug perspective. I wanted to talk about how to take values at runtime. So there is a scanner class which you can use to take the value at the runtime. So here we can write a scanner. You have to create scanner and you can give any name. I'm giving sc is equals to new scanner, and here you have to write. So this is a syntax. This is a syntax to, I'll tell you what is the how it works. So what we are doing is now is we want to take the value from the output window. So here somebody will say put the value of x and that x will be captured. We will not hard code it like this. Let me put it here somewhere. We declared it, let's say at the very first line. Okay. Then we are saying scanner sc is equals to new scanner, and then we will say, let's say, enter the number, something like this. Enter the number, and you will enter a number. So this line is not making any sense. It's just whatever you will write into the double quote as it is will get printed in the
command output. Now we want the value. Now we want the value at the runtime. How we can do it? It's simple. You can write x is equals to sc dot next int. So there are a lot of other functions also. So to take the value at the runtime from the command output window, you can write sc dot next int. That will get you the number and that will be allocated to x. So let me put a debug point. I want to tell you this in detail. Wait. So let me put a debug point here and I'll tell you line by line what is happening. Let me debug this program. Okay. We are at line number 8. Okay. Going here. So this is just a declaration that we have declared that we want to, let me put the debug here, don't worry. So this line, particularly 11th line, is that we are declaring that we want to scan. So in a simple language, I'm saying actually scanner is a class. So I'll explain it again once we will understand what is class at all. But this line meaning is we want to take the input from the system and we want to scan it. So you created the scanner object. Then this line will not do anything, like it will not print anything as of now. So I'm going to the next line. Next line will print enter the number. Here it is saying enter the number. And if I enter the number 20, what will happen is when I did a 20 here, what this line will do, the right hand side will get executed first. Now understand how important is the assignment operator. We were thinking assignment operator is simple thing or equal to sign, right? How equal to sign works is whatever is there at that right hand side, that will be executed first. And the whatever is happening at the right hand side, that will be allocated to the left hand part. sc.nextInt means scan the value as an integer. Whatever user is providing in the console output window, this is called console output window. Or command line output is black and white screen that we will see later on. So whatever user is providing in the console output window, scan it as an integer value. So next int is a function which scans this as an integer value and it will put it to x. So if I do step over, it will go to the 15th line now. It's taking time, but it's fine. In debug, when you execute it, it may take time to execute. In runtime, it won't take much time. If you directly run this program, within 2 seconds, everything will be done. So once it will take the value, you will see what is happening. It's not coming down. It's very slow, but it will come. Let's wait. So in this way, you can take the values at the runtime. You can say, enter your name, enter the marks of your 4 subject, anything you can do. But you have to write the code according, like 4 times. If you are writing it, you want to take 4 values in a row. So you have to write like getting the value 4 times in different variables, right? Okay, it's a bit slow, very slow. So anytime if you feel that you want to stop it, if you want to stop that execution, you can terminate it. So I'm terminating as of now. I'm just expecting something wrong is happening. So I'm not putting a debug point here. I'll put the debug point directly at 15th line so that, I don't want to debug till 8th line to 14th line. I'm doing directly at 15th line. So let's run it again. Debug as Java application. Oh, at 11th line it was there. So you see, if you click on this resume, it will go to the next debug point. So enter the number it's saying. I'll put, let's say 20 and enter. It's coming to the 15th line. If I hover over X, it's saying X is 20. That means it is captured. Good. 20 we wrote into the command output window. If you remember, we wrote it here and that is scanned and it has come to the X. Now we'll do one by one. So 20 is greater than 100? No. So it will go to the else part. It will print number less than 100 or whatever you write here, that will get executed. So I'm running it. So this is how debugging and taking the values work. We'll see about the scanner part again with some other examples whenever you will do taking the values from the user. And let's understand about if else if structure. So when this is useful, let's make another program to understand. This is nested if. This one is the nested if, and any level of nested if can happen. It's not like that only if inside if. Then again there is an if. You can write again some kind of if here. It's possible, but it's very logical how it will get executed. So let's say I'm copying this and I'll paste it, and the name will be if else if demo, something like this. Okay, and this program, let's take the value, but we'll change this part as of now. So when we should use if else if is when you are doing something on continuous way, or I'll tell you how. One program writing here: if x is greater than 100, okay, then print something. So if I write here hello, okay, and if I write here if x is less than 100, then print something. So I'm writing welcome. Okay, now by seeing this program you cannot say what is going to happen because x is will be decided at the runtime. X is going to be decided at runtime. So by seeing this program you cannot say what is going to be printed. It all depends on what x will be. Initial value is 300, which we hard coded, but that is going to be overwritten by once you will get it from the command output. Okay, console output. What I was saying, okay, how this will executed? X will be taken, it will execute this part, okay, done, and based on that it will take the decision. Then it will come to this part also. Now it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. Why it is a waste of time? Because you are checking each if, right? You are going here. If this condition is satisfied, let's say user will give 200, then why you are going to this part? If x is already greater than 100, why we are going to this thing? So let me tell you what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let's debug this program also. So I'll put a number 200. Okay, fine. Enter. See here, it has reached to 15th line. Great. So it has printed hello. It will print now. Why it is going to the 20 line? It should not go. It means it is going, that's fine. If you have written the program, it will go logically. But again, if this condition is satisfied and you have another if, right?
then it's just a waste of comparison. Computer takes time on comparison part, right? Though this condition will get fail and it won't execute this particular part, but this comparison is going to happen. So that is why this is just one advantage of using else if. If I put here else if, then it won't come to the 20 line. It will directly come to 24th line. Okay. So this is how we can use it. So it's like if you want to use something on trail that in a consecutive way that you want to check if this is true, do this thing, else if it is not true, then again check some condition, and then so this else is a part of this, right? This the else is the else of this if. Else of this if is again remaining. It's optional, but if you want to put it, you can put it. If you don't want to, you, it's fine not to put it. Let's understand this example with one more example. Let's say, based on the value of x, I want to decide what is my grade, right? So I have already given that question, right? I am just showing you that thing that what will be the best way to check the grades. I'm writing it here. If my x is greater than 80, and so let's say this is my percentages. X is less than equal to 100, then say grade A. I'll just write A. Okay, I'll just write A. Okay, and so how I can write the program? I'm deleting it. One way is doing this. Again, writing if x is greater than equal to 60 and less than, sorry, 80, then the grade will be B. And if x is greater than equal to 40 and it is less than 60, then grade is C. And if x is less than 40, then I'll say F. Fine. This program is perfectly fine. You're saying that when a number is greater than 80 and it is as well as that number is less than 100, then put the grading as A. It's like this, printing the value based on that. So let me run it. And if I put my number as, let's say, 45, it will say C. Saying C, straightforward. Why it is saying that it is C? Because based on this condition we have put, this one is getting satisfied, that 45 is greater than 40 and 45 is less than 60 also. So the whole thing will become true. This part is true and the right hand side part is also true. So true and true is true. So that's why nothing else got printed, only C got printed. But does that mean that this comparison doesn't happen? It is happening every time, because you have written x, okay, whatever 40 is greater than 80, false. 40 is greater than 80, false. But this comparison happened. In the same way, all comparison is happening unnecessarily. All comparison is happening unnecessarily, especially if this condition is true. Why I'm comparing again this part, right? I should not compare. My condition is already satisfied. My grade is C, but again you are checking. So we have to, so there is a syntax. So the way is, you can put it in this way. You can write simply else if, and else if, and there will be last else, because something wrong. If the number is not within what we say, neither, we have taken all. So let me put it 0 here also. So the last range will be, because user can put anything. User can give negative or greater than 100 also. So if the number is greater than equal to 0, and it's less than 40, then you say F, otherwise at the end you say something wrong. I'm writing it. Something wrong happened. Try again. Something like this. So let's run this program. Let me close this debug perspective so that you will be able to see the program properly. We have written in a simple way. Don't worry about this 5 lines. This is just to take the value. The real logic we have started from 14th line to this. So what is 14th line? It's like checking whether x is greater than 80 and as well as less than 100. Then print a, else if. This time, what will happen? If this condition is true, it won't go to any of this. Any of this, it won't go. So this is how good is else if else if structure we say. It's not just if else, it's if else if in the continuation. If this condition will be true, it won't execute any further. It won't compare any further thing. Like, okay, this is about if else if part. We want to see a very basic thing. Let's understand for 2 minutes about the arrays. We will continue about the array tomorrow also. So when we say array, so if you see here, when you want to take the value, if you want to take similar kind of value, let's say employee ID, you want to enter 5 employee ID, right? So you will have to declare 5 different variables. So what I'm saying here is, let's say you want to take the roll number of 5 students. So what you will do, you will declare roll 1, int roll 2, then int roll 3, and int roll 4, something like that. And then you will take this value at the runtime, or you will put the values that roll 1 is actually 23, something like this, or student 1. Actually, I should not have written roll. It's like student 1. Student 1 is 23, something like that. But the problem with this is you have to remember all the variable names. First problem is this. You have to remember all this variable name. And anytime when you want to change something, it will be difficult for the programmer where to change, right? How it will get, how we will remember it. So when you have similar kind of data, then you can club it into a single array. So instead of writing it like this, you can simply write integer. The declaration of this is like this: roll number is equals to new int, or we'll understand it tomorrow. You can directly declare this also. You can write 12, comma 23, comma 24, comma 45. Let's say you want to put it. So if you write it in this way, it will create a sequence of values, put it in a proper way, and that will be stored in a particular way. We'll see it tomorrow. Let me declare it, but as of now. So if I say system.out.println roll number 3, so this will print me 45. We'll see how it will work. This is going to print me 45. Why? Because array works with the index. Okay, we'll see it tomorrow. I just wanted to show you that this is the way. Let's say I put -9. It's saying something wrong, and then it is printing 45 here. Okay, because array works with the index which is starts from the 0. We will see this thing tomorrow in detail about the array. So tomorrow the whole thing will talk about array only.